it, and they're specified Capistrano and University. I think that's the only two
Okay.
we have.
You send me an email? Oh.
No, did you get my text about the student in Sunyi's class?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you get my text about the girl in Sunyi's class?
Yeah, fine.
That's
Yeah,
right.
after
Yeah,
that.
I told her they could have. I told her whenever there's an emergency like that, if I don't answer in the chat box because I'm running 2-3 things at once, just text me ahead of time.
Yeah.
She did. That's how I figure it out. That's how she told me she'd text me. I just told her, just give me a heads up next time. Well, now we know, but at least you know that I give her props for doing it.
Right.
Yeah. Which is didn't know, but good thing. All right, so we went for Dan. Now let's see what she says. The signing I'm using, and I can't get on the page. Keep saying the page isn't working.
Oh, the whole.
Let me send her another invitation. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So let's see what this says. They say they can't join. Does not work. What should we do? I told her, I sent her a different invitation. I said, please clear your cookies. If she persists, please reboot your computer. She says that it does not work.
Okay, so we are done till what, 3? No. Whatever time, I don't know what time it is in your end.
Here it's at 10:48. Okay, let's see. So no one can join the session. So I'm just waiting for them to tell me. Did you get the email to this account you just provided? Question mark. So Sunyi can't, Dana can't join. YouTube page. Let's try again. Hello, Kent?
Hey, Enrique, this is Ken Baker.
How you doing?
I got Google Hangouts open.
Okay.
What do I do from there?
I'm about to post another. I'm gonna email you all again another invitation.
Okay.
Do you have your like a personal account set up? I think I have 2 emails for you.
I have one with our school. It's PG Baker.
Yeah.
USD.
Okay. I'm gonna post another invitation again. So keep it open. It might come in as a call, so you just may have to answer.
Okay. Quick question. 2 of the 3 students that I have presenting today did not post the link to their work. Would it be possible on your end to find that work for them?
If we can, I can try.
Okay.
You can, or they can just email it to me while I'm trying to get this going in the next.
I don't have their files, but I guess we could send you email you the link.
The link.
To the ACME website.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just give them my email, and then they can just email me the link, or they can send it to you. You can send it to me.
Should I put that in the chat on Hangout, or should I email that to you?
You know what? Yes, that's another option. Once you've accessed, they can just copy and paste into the chat box.
Okay, so
well,
I'll wait for your the link.
Thank you. I'll let you know. Thank you, Ken.
Bye.
Thank you, bye-bye. All right, let's see how this goes. Anyone join? No? Okay.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick restroom break. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So anything new and exciting on your end?
Not much. Same old, same old. I just got a message from a friend of mine who does tour managing, and he said if I was able to fly out to, I don't know, is it Texas? And
Hi.
hello, Dana.
Hey, Dana.
Let me get some stuff set up here.
All right, so we're up and running. All right.
I'll be ready in just a sec.
Yeah, just to confirm, is that Christopher?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dana.
Well, yeah, he'll be on here.
Thank you. Anyway, Henry, so yeah, they were offering me to go, I think Texas until Sunday. I think it's merch, loading a truck, taking it to the venue, I think 2-3 dates, load out, drive to next destination, all that stuff.
Good times.
Unfortunately, I'm taking, I have already other commitments, so I can't make it. That would have been fun. At least I will be coming back home after 4 days, not 2 months.
You're not watching it on your cell phone. Oh. No, you can't submit anything now. It's too late. You had to submit yesterday. I'm trying to get my speakers hooked up here. For some reason now they won't. What is
So we have about 25 more minutes with you guys, right, Dana? Dana, can you hear me? You can hear me, right, Henry?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess just setting up their speakers.
Hurry, please. Why is this not connecting?
Okay. Is the student ready? So
the problem is I can't get my speakers on right now for some reason. So we can't hear anything. We're gonna have to do it literally off the computer.
okay. That's
Okay, well then it is what it is.
it is for now, yeah.
Okay,
Just
Chris,
to give you
come on up.
enough time. I was asking you, we have you for about 25 more minutes, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, there were others enrolled. It doesn't matter what they say. They don't seem to understand. They got to submit the work. Here, have a seat. Oh, there's kids from other schools.
Thank you, Capistrano. Thank you. We'll be right over with you. Can you just type it in the chat box just to confirm?
There, which is
we have you until 11:10. Is that correct?
Fortunately, the only
actually can unmute your microphone
is on the computer.
You can just let us know.
No, I don't know why.
If we have you until 11:10, let's go to Capistrano first. University, we have them a little longer than that. So, is that correct, Kent? Do we have you until 11:10?
We're here till 12 noon.
Oh, okay. Then it's apologies for that. I thought I had you here in the schedule until 11:10. So we will start with University, and we'll go to Capistrano. Thank you. Go ahead, University. Can you please lower your camera just a tad so we can have you in the center? Or thank you.
How's it going?
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Christopher Santiago.
What school do you go to?
I go to University High. Charter school.
Okay. Very cool. So what we're looking at today?
Mr. Bean, my storyboard.
Cool. Mr. Bean has been. All right. So tell me about your project. What I'm looking at here.
Just meet Mr. Bean, like going down the street. He sees a gumball machine, and then, yeah, he has an adventure.
Well, see, yes. Over here, he's at the gumball machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens after that?
Then the wind blew the gumball, and it went down the hill, and he slid down the hill, then finds it, ants, and then goes home.
Okay. So the wind blows the gumball machine, right?
The gumball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gumball itself.
Huh?
Excuse me. So it's actually the gumball itself that gets blown away.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the exercises you're trying to show?
The gumball and the slide.
What about the gumball?
Just a gumball machine.
Well, that's not one of your exercises, right? Your exercises are to like swing. You got like a pendulum. You got a ball bounce, sack drop, slide. Those are the exercises. Yes.
No, they have also where he comes from a distance and walks up to a gumball machine,
I see.
or
Okay.
they have a magic hat there.
Okay. Cool. It's pretty straightforward then. I mean, so he gets to the gumball machine. He picks it. He goes to pick it up, and then it like flips out of his hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely. I don't know if the wind would take care of that. I think maybe just he tripped, or maybe like he stumbles. Like you try to get something and excuse me, man, I can't clear my throat today. So maybe he like trips, and then the ball is kind of go bouncing down the road.
Okay.
That might be another way of looking at it. I'm just trying to think of how you can get your camera to stop from shaking. There we go. Because the wind, I'm not sold on that part, but it's kind of a minor issue considering the rest of it's actually pretty much working. Your shots, I'm kind of wondering about, like the shot where it starts rolling up the hill. I like the one prior to that where he's looking at it, watching it go down the hill. Here, I like that one where it starts rolling off. I don't think you need this one at all.
Okay.
So once it starts rolling, he goes back to him, and he's got a, I don't think you even need this one. I would use this emotion here because there's no face to read on Bean. So unless you have a facial expression, that's the only reason why you need to get close in. Otherwise, a long shot works fine. And then after that, he just kind of jumps down the slide to finish off, and then how are we going to do that? So yeah, I mean that's a pretty straightforward straightforward project. Do you have any questions about it? Anything you're concerned or need help setting up?
No.
No. All right. Well, good luck with it then, dude. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, unless we're able to drop a link for Emilian or whatever, that's it.
Okay, just drop it in the chat box. Let's go to Capistrano and come back to University.
Can you come over here?
Don't forget to mute your mic. We'll be right back. Capistrano.
Capistrano. Howdy. Can
you see it?
Hi, I'm Megan Yates, and this is my project called Does This Ring a Bell? It's about this cat and mouse, sort of like a Tom and Jerry sort of situation. And the mouse is getting bullied by the cat, and he's forced to be like the servant. So then the mouse is inspired by a TV show to create a robot and fight back against the cat. And in the end, they swap positions.
Okay. Well, let's have a look. Cute. Very cute. Okay, so how far along do you think this is on it for animation?
Not very far.
Yeah, this is closer to an animatic.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, I'll just make sure we're on the same page here. Good. For an animatic, this is really good. There's a couple of things in there that I think could be cleared up a little bit, particularly when the cat first sees the robot.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll talk about that in a second. I think you could stage that a little differently. You seem to like the draws, right? So you're kind of enjoying this process, so it's okay to kind of say we can push this a little bit more, yeah? All right, cool. All right, so let's talk about the whole thing. Really cute idea, and this is one of the first time I'm seeing one of these kind of projects of this scale actually coming about. And I like the fact that you're keeping it pretty simplistic. I mean, you definitely got a lot of work that you could do with this, and there's a lot of work to be done if you wanted to fully animate this one. I think leaving it at animatic, maybe hitting one or two of the shots that are really the most important would probably be the easiest way to go and probably the best way, just because I think it tells a story otherwise. This one is okay. Stage the cat a little further to the left, give him some more room, because right now he gets kind of crowded out and you almost don't see him.
Yeah.
This shot. Okay, so where did he end up? Okay, he ends up there. I almost wonder if you really even need this shot. I understand you're showing the sinisterness of this. That's a word. Of this, the sinister nature. How about that? Of the cat in this shot. But I kind of like it kind of going maybe just from here to here, or to that, where the kind of gets a swipe.
Okay.
And just kind of push. I mean, again. I like how you did this. This is really cute. It's a nice little plot. Don't need to hold as long on this.
Yeah.
And maybe because in this shot, he looks almost bored. Maybe take him to more of a kind of a worried, like he's still looking at the cat, like he's still worried about the cat, like more cowering, until he sees the robot or whatever on the TV. And then the other thing you can do maybe is just have that plate tip off to the side, like he's kind of dropping it. This is all great. Unfortunately, you could push in, I think, a little bit more on this.
Okay.
So because you're really, their focus is the TV and what's happening here, and particularly the robot. So kind of do a push, like I would at least double the size of that TV, so it's like the main focus, and then push in on the robot.
Okay.
So that way you know that that's really what, because this is a long shot, right? Mm-hmm. And then the other thing too would be to have the robot like reaching out or doing something other than just kind of waving its arms, so that it shows that the robot can do some damage. And then this pose, he's like, wow, right? And then because now he's already put down the plate, it allows you to kind of use the arms as a little more of a gesture at that point. And then, so this pose right here, you're kind of breaking the fourth wall, right? Because now he's looking directly at the audience, trying to make that connection. Maybe instead do a pose where he's like, you know, he's like, you know, if you wanted to look over here, but kind of get that little like this discover, maybe he thinks he's like, right? And so now we see that he has an idea, but it can't be this determined look, because we've missed a beat there at that point, because we don't know, we're not following along with him just yet. So maybe a little more of a determined look, and then the nod, don't need it, just cut to that next shot. And the zip off, you don't need. The next shot could be doing, you don't have to do a fade, just cut straight to him doing some work. I love the blowtorch. I want to see another one where he's hammering. I want to do at least one other shot in there of doing something, so we know that he's building something, right? Third time around. Okay, so let me share the screen again. A little more time between these gestures. So like he's really, the cat really got to get annoyed, right? And it's going to be like, I would probably just start. Well, I guess it works. Okay, so that from, you know, he's got, I want like oh, you're not even looking at, you're looking at me. Sorry. I must have stopped sharing. So he's ringing, the cat's ringing the bell, right? And then he kind of pops in, and all of a sudden he just pops up like he's really pissed off right off. I want to see a facial expression change before he gets up, like, because this cat's lazy. He can't even be bothered to get up to move, you know, for anything. He's just, cat's lazy. So I want him to be like, I want to see the expression of him looking down where the mouse should be. And he's like, ding, ding, ding. Now he gets up, right? Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. And each time I want him like getting even more and more agitated, like he's clanging that bell, right? He's pissed off, right? Now he's going to get up. And as soon as he starts to get up, we cut to the next shot. See that development? There has to be a progressive thing. It can't just be bam, 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 you know, right into instant pissed off. He has to kind of build up to that, because that's kind of a little mini sub-story within the story. Right, and your acting of him once he's standing up, I think at this point he wouldn't be bothering to ring that bell. He'd just be storming off. So that's why I'm kind of like pissed off, ding, ding, pissed off, ding, 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 pissed off, goes off. Right, okay. So they can skip the whole thing. He storms off. That's great. Okay, this shot right here. So let's show you what I'm looking at. This shot right here. Okay, first off, rule of thirds, think about where your actions are and stage it so that the actions can happen in and or on around a third. Yeah, because right now he's going right to the floor.
Okay.
And that's just staging, goes all the way through. This is a really cute shot. I love this. I love this shot right here. Really got the now this shot right here. I want to see the robot and the cat in relation to each other, right? So I want to see a side shot, profile. You know, it doesn't have to be. I prefer not a profile shot. Maybe a 2 3/4 views like that, kind of facing at each other. And that's more of a staging issue. But I want to see how big that robot is to the cat. You know, and I mean, have the robot kind of lean in with a little mouse on his shoulder, like, and kind of be a little more aggressive. Then we go, okay, now we get what's happening with the story. Excuse me. And the next shot will make more sense, right? Because at this point, we don't know if the mouse just made a walking trash can, or it just has a trash can in the shape of a mouse. We don't know. So having the robot kind of hunker down a little more would definitely help. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, there has been a couple of stories Tom and Jerry did that I think would go a long way towards this particular piece. One is when Jerry meets a lion, and the lion tries to move in to protect Jerry against Tom. So that will be one to look at. The other one is a little, another one. I think it's his nephew or his cousin. I think is a little country singer, right? And he comes in and talks, and he does this whole little adventure with Jerry, and it's just more about the buildup of how Tom takes it for granted that he's just this tiny little mouse. What's he going to do? And all of a sudden, he just starts having all this stuff happen to him, and he's like, "Okay, I'm now really afraid of this little mouse." It's a cute story. Watch those, get some inspiration. I think it'll help your story along as far as how you're staging it and presenting. No, the continuity works. Okay, I was thinking, like, I was kind of wondering if maybe you could have the bell switched sides. So kind of a little subtle message would have been that the mouse has now turned the tables on the cat. So now he's the one ringing the bell. So it would have been from this direction instead of this direction. But the next shot, it wouldn't make as much sense because now the shot is with the robot over here, Cat comes in really cute. I almost wonder if you could do this with a two-shot where the cat and mouse are both in shot on that one, where the cat's kind of doing this whole, the mouse is just like, yeah, whatever, I've got this girl, whatever. And the cat is in the same shot, just on a different side, kind of doing something like that. And then the cat just like picks it, and then you iris in on the mouse. So that way you're not feeling like it still feels a little disjointed. And again, it would kind of bring back the scale of how big that robot is compared to the cat. So it would be nice to have those both in the same shot. Really close. Really, really, really close. We did a really nice job on this. The animatic feels good. The tempo feels good. Generally speaking, I think there's a couple things you could snap up here and there, or obviously we talked about lengthening up at the very beginning. Now it's just the tweaking side of it. So well done, very well done. I would love to, obviously I'd love to see you complete this whole thing and get it to color and all that. I think realistically, pick your favorite scene. Focus on that one, make it pretty, and it'll show real quick in the work. Because I mean, you clearly have a good artistic style about this whole thing. So keep going.
Thank you.
No problem. Good luck.
All right, thank you, Capistrano. Let's go to university. We have about 4 minutes with university. I think one more quick review. We'll come back to you, Capistrano, in a second, since we have you a little longer. Go ahead, university.
Ready? Introduce yourself. Oh, okay. Hello, my name is Emilian, and I go to University High School.
Do we have the new work? Here down at the bottom.
Is that what you posted there, Dana, in the chat box?
Yes.
Okay. There's no name, so I just want to make sure.
Rock on. Okay, guys, make sure this is a little technical issue, but it is important. Make sure that your images are rotated the right direction. If you can't do that, go ahead and it's always possible. You just got to figure out how to do it. So just something to pay attention to. Oops. Okay, so we'll do it this way.
That would be the first thing you said.
All right. Mr. Bean. What's going on with Mr. Bean today?
Oh, he's racing his friend. So
He's what?
Racing his friend.
Okay.
And what else?
Oh,
Just tell him your story.
oh, okay. He has like a stopwatch, so he's getting timed. So he has to like take a shortcut so he can make it on time, basically.
Okay.
Okay, so that bottom right one where he's jumping along the bridge.
Okay. So really cute. I think that this could be. It's a really neat idea. I would like to see maybe a couple tweaks to this story. Instead of having a timed issue, maybe he goes to just being a straight up race, and then as the beans are racing, the one diverts to try to shortcut it, right? I'm just trying to think about how you would set that up. Obviously, we need a long. I mean, this is going to be kind of a more of a complicated thing. So, really, what is your goal here? Is it just to do the? You obviously got to do a jump in here. You're doing a slide. I think that's it, right?
Oh, and the stairs.
And the stairs. Ah, okay. Okay, so this is a little ambitious. I'm just trying to think where. I mean, really, if you're going to do a stopwatch, I would just say forget trying to run a race. This is like American Ninja, right? He's just going to do the obstacle course, straight up obstacle course, and then just go from there. But now you need an establishing. One thing you are missing here is something we call an establishing shot, where we kind of understand where we are by the shot. Kind of does a description of where we're at. So seeing. If you ever watched American Ninja, one of the first things they do is they do the nice panning shots or going through trucking shots all through the different obstacles and really kind of shows off what they're doing. Then we can kind of just get it down to it's just the one being just trying to get through it. So there's no need. Really, the stopwatch isn't necessary to the story. I'd probably lose it and just have the one being like, oh, okay, let's go do this thing and get all excited and ramped up and bam, he goes off and just makes the whole thing go. I think it'd probably play a little bit more to the story. And then really once he finishes, that's the whole thing. He's bing, 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 bing. He's just happy. And the stopwatch is not necessary. Yeah. And and again, the reason why I'm doing this is I'm going to help you guys kind of truncate this down a little bit so that it's just the bare minimum story so you can animate this and get through it because this amount of work is considerable. Yeah, try to help you cut it down a little bit so you don't have as much work to do. So yeah, I would just say mix the second bean, get him to you got to do the establishing shot, figure out how you're going to do that, and then ready, set, go. He runs, does the obstacle course, gets through the whole thing. Cool, he wins. Yay! Maybe gets a trophy at the end. But other than that, I think it's in terms of story. I think it's pretty straightforward and not much more to comment on. So good job there. You have any questions, comments, concerns?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, good luck then.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diversity. We'll see you in the next session. I believe you have to. This period is over. So Capistrano.
All right.
Don't forget to mute your mic, Dana. Capistrano, who would be next? Do I see a name there? Emma, correct?
Hello.
Hello. Go ahead, Capistrano.
Hello, my name is Emma Perez from Capistrano Valley, and this is my animatic titled Seashells, and it's basically about a boy who's walking in a bored or sad mood on the beach, and he comes across a conch shell, and then he ends up picking it up, becoming excited, and he listens to it, and he hears the ocean in it, and he wonders why it sounds like that. So he looks inside, and he finds a man inside the shell, and then the man is shaking maracas because that's making the sound of the ocean. And so the boy gets confused and scared kind of. So he puts down the shell and he walks backwards and then runs away because he's so confused.
Wow. Okay, so quite a lot going on here. Let's have a look. I like the fact that there's no audio. Well done there. So he just clubbed himself upside the. Oh, I see. Okay, we'll talk about that. Cute. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so let me ask you ahead of time here. Are there any comments, concerns, questions you would have that I can address right away?
Is the story, does it make sense? Like without any, like does the actual story make sense in the animatic?
Yeah, I mean, I understand what's happening in the story. It's pretty clear to me. I think there's some things that we can do to tweak that a little bit, but yes, the story is clear. That being said, do you have any other concerns, comments before I start?
Does it flow? Or there's
a story, there's a flow to it. I think we're going to tweak it and make it better. But yeah, as the story goes, I mean, it's, you know, you could turn that in right now and call it done. You know, or you could work with it a little bit and kind of massage that a little bit and make it much better. So are there any problems, or I mean, you've asked me now if there's a word, there's a flow. What are you concerned about? What areas are you thinking are not reading?
Maybe the motions. So one of the parts, it kind of looks like he hit himself in the face with the shell, but he was actually just like lifting up to his head.
Right. You know what the difference is?
Just
this versus this. This looks like I'm beating myself upside with a container. This looks like I'm actually looking at it.
Okay.
Tweak it, and then don't get it right up on his head. Give a little bit of breathing room so I see some space, and then I'm looking right into it. Okay, that'll take care of that little problem. Like and then close the one eye and really looking inside of there.
Okay.
That was actually one of the points I was going to make. So yeah. Another thing too is because this whole thing revolves around seashells, maybe your establishing shot is instead of having the guy walk in, which is a little cliche, just have the seashell already on the seashore. And
then like have the camera pan over, like with him walking.
Or just have it like if that's the seashell, right? Hand comes in, takes it out of the screen.
Okay.
And then the next shot is this kid, just a waist up shot of him doing this thing. If this is where all the action is happening, right? We don't care about that. We know where he is. We don't need to worry about what he's wearing or anything like that. All I need to see is that he's looking at the shell. Let's round at it. Here's that. Cool. And then I need to see more of a expression change, like from here to like that, right? I need to see that I'm really looking at this thing. And then I'm like, and then I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Okay. So it's the whole. Right. There's definitely some beats there that need to happen. Once it's in there, once he looks inside of it, the gag is the little guy, right? So we don't need the reveal. All I need to know is the next shot is all I'm going to see is, like, it could even be like I don't even need to see this side of it. I don't need to see the eyeball. Let's maybe pull it back a little bit or whatever. But just see it. You don't need the reveal, the little black reveal like that. Don't need it. Just have him in there. And as soon as he's in there, the guy's already making noise because that's how he was discovered in the first place, right? So he's already doing his own. So have him do it. He's already in there doing it. And then he once they look over the guy, he's like, hi. Right, and then he just keeps on going. There's no stop. It's your already turning off the book at this point. So it's not like there's a pace to the joke. No, we've already hit the punchline. Let's keep it rolling. And then, then there's a lot of wait time in here. This is a very long shot. We could snap this up maybe on the timer on me. Give me a second here. Let me get my stopwatch. Let's do this. And we're maybe at 4 seconds on that. This one right now. So 35. We're still going. Okay, that was 56, from 35 to 56. All right. Now you're almost 30 seconds into that shot when 6 seconds will work. Right? That's a lot less drawing, a lot less work. So again, he wasn't care. He's like, whatever, I'm just gonna take my maracas. Then we can cut immediately to the guy. Now he's back to here again. And this is the expression I want to say, huh? Sets it down, backs away, and then he takes off like a bullet, right? And you kind of have that a little here. He's just like, right? But I kind of want, like, I want to see it like he's. Did I just see that? A little thought going on in there. You know, the eyeballs kind of roll like. Set that down. I'm going to walk right in. Gone. So we've now shortened. Yeah, you kind of did that, right? He's kind of like, perfect, right? Just a little slower and definitely steps back a couple of times, right? So now he's just kind of flow back. He actually steps back. And then he's not going to just kind of slowly run right. You know, he is like, turn around, one frame, gone the next. Right? Maybe a little dust, a little smoke cloud where he was. That's all that remains. The whole little cartoon bit. In fact, that'd be a great spot for a smear if you really wanted to go and punch it up even more. So really, really close. You guys are doing a great job this time around with this. I'm really happy with what I'm doing. Your staging was more or less great. I'm happy to see that you're not just doing profile shots. You're actually trying to push a little bit 3/4. Yay. But I think does that help kind of clarify some staging issues? Again, focus on your favorite shot. I mean, maybe just there's a shot. You might want to actually copy this. There, you know who Stewie is, the Family Guy?
Yeah.
Okay, there's Stewie who's doing maracas at one point. Right? There's a little dance, he does a little quick shift back and forth. Try to find that animation and then use that in that for that little guy inside the thing. Yeah, he's not going to be here. He's going to be here, then here, and then here. One thing that'll help, and this is for everybody. We try to avoid something called twinning. Do you know this phrase? Okay, so twinning. I'm going to mute you here for a second because we're really doing some this. Good. So twinning is when both arms are doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. It starts feeling like you're looking at a mirror, right? So we try to break that up by having one hand do one thing and then the other hand does something completely different. And that way it doesn't feel like it's a mirror object, and hence the phrase twinning, because it's your twin. So be careful when you're doing something that not both hands and arms are doing something even at the exact same time. Even one frame difference can be enough to offset that. And even though it's doing the exact same thing, it doesn't feel like it's doing the exact same thing because it's happening slightly offset from the other. Does that make sense? So in your case, the guy doing a little maraca shaking here, that's why it switched from here to here to here, and it's much more, it reads a lot better. It feels, the emotions a little more expressed, and you do a little, like one frame motions here, one frame motions here, one frame motions here, and one frame motion, and then we're back to him again. So we were in and out 6 seconds. Okay, sorry, I talk a lot. Questions, comments, concerns? You need to unmute to talk again.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Great job.
Okay, we have 7 minutes. Possibly for one more student. I believe we have more work posted. Will that be Megan or Kyle?
Hey, Kyle. Thanks for doing this then. All right, introduce yourself. Okay. Hello.
Howdy.
I am Kyle Mays. How are you today?
Not bad. How about yourself?
I'm good. All
Cool.
right.
So we're looking at a squirrel animatic.
Yep.
Awesome. Let's just go ahead and just let it play and dive into it.
All right. Let's see.
Who knows? Skadoot. We're starting off with a pun. I like it. Okay, this is one of those higher thought ones. Why don't you go ahead and explain this a little bit to me, because I'm a little lost.
Yeah. All right. So the beginning was, let's see. So first it's the first squirrel in the tree, kind of rubbing its nose and whatnot. And when it looks down over its shoulder, it sees 2 other squirrels coming towards the tree from the 2 snowmen up at the top.
Yep. Oh, they're coming from the snowman?
Yeah. They're coming from the snowmen to towards the tree. And real quick, that part where the other squirrel was picking its nose was, I need to emphasize that more, but how do I explain it?
As best you can.
It's supposed to coincide. It's picking its nose, but the 2 other squirrels, when they come up onto the tree, are carrying carrots, which were the noses from the snowmen that they were stealing.
Okay.
I know it's kind of hard to see from what's there, which is my biggest concern with it, is that's just hard to tell what's going on.
Right. Okay, so why don't you tell me okay, so when it comes to story, I'm trying to figure out what this story really is about, meaning, is it about the main hero up in the tree? Is it about the 2 squirrels trying to get shelter? Is it the theft of the noses? Because right now I'm having a hard time drawing the correlation between the whole thing.
It was supposed to be based off of, there should be a cartoon attached to it, I think, that is what it's based off of. It's supposed to be sort of based off of a joke from
that. Okay.
So since it was more of a verbal sort of joke, I did the best I could without using like text boxes and whatnot.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit harder to do without them, though, because it's such. That really is the punchline.
Yeah, it is.
Give me a second here to think about that.
All right.
Okay. What comes to mind is a squirrel picking his nose and just not. I mean, he's got this humongous nose.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's almost like 3/4 of the size of his face. And he's just not getting it. Right. He gets frustrated, looks out, sees the snowman. Gets an idea. Next shot, he's crawling up on top of the snowman. He picks off the nose and starts picking his nose with the tip of the tip of the carrot.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the punchline. I think that would be, and you could tell it very short, right?
Yeah.
I think that might be the way to go about it. And I mean, but for you, it's going to be the challenge. Is going to be how do you describe? Like he has like tiny little fingers, and he's just like. You can't.
Yeah.
I can't breathe through my nose, kind of thing. Finally, at the very end, when he pops out this massive, I'm not going to bring gross, but he pops out this massive booger at the very end. He's like, right? So now he can breathe through his nose again.
Yeah.
That might be another route to take with it, but without text boxing in that particular shot. Very difficult to tell the story.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't even begin without text boxes. There's no way to do it.
No, yeah. All right. I did the best I could.
Oh no.
What I thought was.
Trust me, for the story that you're trying to tell, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
It takes me a minute just to think about how I would tell a story, and I couldn't do anything with the original drawings. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, and I'm used to doing this kind of stuff. So what you did was great. It's just the story's not lending itself to what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. 100%.
I hope you. I mean, would that be something you'd be willing to do? Like what we just talked about?
I would be super down to try that. Yeah.
Cool.
It would be a lot better than what I have.
No, that's you know what. One thing too is that you're going to get better and better ideas, and then as you do more and more storyboards. I've been doing this for 20 years, so trust me. When I'm starting out, I'm like, oh, this is a great idea, and then somebody's like, kind of needs a little break. Let's try this, and you're just like, I gotta fine. Yeah, it is a better idea, and yes, I agree, it works better. We'll kind of work with it, and then you build up as you go from there. So,
all right.
What your first attempt? I think it's great. It's just this is how we're going to plus it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Questions, comments, concerns?
No, I think I'm all right. That idea was definitely a big help for sure.
Awesome. Glad to help. And then I hopefully see that. Hope to see it up on the screen soon.
All right. Thank you.
No worries. Good luck.
All right, and that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Capistrano. Thank you,
thank you, guys.
Baker. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. So next one, Henry. 12:05.
Got some time.
Got some time for a quick bite. All right. I'll see you here in 25 minutes. In 25 minutes. Less than 20 minutes. Cyprus.
Okay.
They moved it ahead of they used to start at 12:30 our time, but now they moved it to 12:05.
Got it. Okay. I'll see you in a bit.
I'm see you in 20.
We're going to the old side, right?
Yeah. The other one is working.